Well, before we get to the Kookiest Kook, yes, we got a great candidate today in New York, and we're wondering if any of the other cities can beat our Kook today.
Yeah, this is a great one.
It's too bad we're not syndicated to Georgia because it wouldn't even been close today.
Yo, B, what? I will hook you up at the crematorium. This guy, what a scumbag.
Besides being a scumbag, how sick do you have to be to just pile up bodies in the back?
Well, you know,
in the woods.
You just
the wooden
is it. I guess you just get immune to it. You know what I mean? The guy he works at a crematorium.
The story's getting sicker by the hour, too. They're just finding more bodies and more debauchery down there.
They're saying as many as 200 bodies
are just piled up in the woods.
Just piled up out back of the
crematorium.
The crematory.
In their suits.
Yeah, in their funeral clothes. They said a lot of them in their funeral clothes, laying out some just body parts. What happened is this guy, Brendt Marsh, 28, he had said, last story I heard, he said, well, the machine broke down. I couldn't light the pilot light on the burner. It seems that he said something was wrong with the thing that cremates people, the oven.
Oh, don't you get that fixed?
Yeah, you would think you would. But no, you keep taking the money from the people, and you give them in the urns cement mixed with wood chips and sawdust, and you give them that as their loved one. Then you promptly take the loved one out back, and if there's no room in the shed because that's filled with other people's loved ones,
you throw the body in a wheelbarrow.
You throw in the wheelbarrow. And then you just kind of go in the woods with, Grandpa or your uncle or something in his nice suit, just wheeling along in the wheelbarrow, and you dump him in the woods. And then months later,
I believe some of the bodies he had to toss on top of the pile.
Toss, and then there's a lake on the property, too, so they're going to dredge that and see if the guy decided he was going to throw some in the lake. And then you leave them out there, some as long as they're saying 2 years.
I heard a lot longer than that.
Really?
Yeah, because some
that
of
was
them
the last thing I heard.
Mummified. They're finding mummified bodies.
Well,
I heard up to 15, right?
Up to 10 to 15.
10 to 15 years.
It didn't smell because they were embalmed.
Oh, is that why they don't stink?
Yeah. The bodies were embalmed.
Yeah, that's where they... Yeah.
And they said...
They stink you.
They said that they found the people, some of them in their funeral clothes, as recently as a couple of weeks old. And some body parts like arms, heads, legs, and one officer had to step over a rib cage. Just like you find Grandma's rib cage laying out there. Oh.
They also said that these bodies, some of the older ones, decompose to the point where all the bones are all mixed up together and intertwined and stuff.
Yeah, they do. Laying on top of each other in a big pile. So when they decompose, they just kind of fell into each other. And this guy was like, sorry, the oven was broke. How much to fix the oven? How much to fix one oven? That is a twisted goddamn story.
There was something funny about it, though. Just that all these people are home hugging cement little pieces of cigar ashes.
As their loved one in their little funeral suit is being rained on in the woods.
Yeah.
Just like the water bouncing off of their rotting head.
Bent over in an uncomfortable position. Head against a tree stump.
For years, not even minding it because you're dead.
Give me the post because...
It's hilarious. Well, John Amos just throws them into the shed.
John Amos! James! Why you put him in the shed?
The Post has a great cartoon as far as this whole thing goes.
Oh, leave it to the Post. Make a little joke about it.
There's the dude.
At least with us, you know what you're getting when you come here.
What's the guy's name that's guilty as charged?
That would be Brendt Marsh.
Ray's filling up an urn, right? And it's like, it says, rest in peace, 1923 to 2002, with like 3 or 4 smokers around a table with a big, huge ashtray. And the caption goes, can you guys smoke a little faster? We have a dozen more funerals today.
Smoke a little faster.
This is
I need some hash.
What a twisted story. Yeah.
Found at least 149 decaying bodies have been counted since Friday. Thinking they'll push it to about 200. Let's see. Forensic teams expected to concentrate Wednesday on the contents of 6 vaults on the crematory property filled with human remains. He said the teams anticipate the vaults meant to hold a single body could hold from 20 to 40 bodies apiece. Of course, if he had to start throwing them outside, you got to figure every inch of vault or closed space had been taken if he's resorting to, where the wheelbarrow? I'm going to take Grandma out to the woods.
Now, how did he get caught?
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. I guess someone stumbled upon some remains. That's usually what happens.
You know what's really funny is that there's probably a couple of really embarrassed people who made those real final amends to an urn full of wood chips.
Just crying and sniveling and apologizing and saying, I love you.
Yeah, and saying those last things. They realized they were talking about crushed cement.
And there's the real person, like you said, head bent against the tree.
All crunked over. Shaped like a boomerang.
So sick. With an arm that if you were alive would be so painful you'd have to move it, yet in death you just sit there for eons.
Awful suit all bunched up like a boomerang.
Can't pull that wedgie out of your dead ass.
Guys are sick.
Isn't that horrible?
John, what's going on?
Hair misplaced, tickling your nostril forever.
He should have put them in really funny, wacky positions.
Look, they're walking like Egyptians.
Or like one guy with his head in another guy's lap and another guy pointing at him.
At least pose and have a little fun with it.
John, what's going on?
Hey, guys, you were talking about how they got caught. I heard they got caught because somebody got their asses home and they were a little suspicious because Grandma smelled like cedar mulch.
Cedar mulch.
Jeez, Grandma's got that fresh scent. She keeps the closet fresh.
What a sick man.
I don't know what happened, but I spilled a little water in my husband's ashes and it hardened up and fell and broke my foot.
Take care, boys. I'm going to go listen to myself.
I can't find out on this story how they found it.
Louie, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I just wanted to say, I mean, I got 2 points. Can you imagine how screwed up it would make you if you grew up in that environment with dead bodies? That's what your parents do for a living?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, and another thing, I had met someone a couple of years ago, and he had just mentioned that his parents owned one of these mausoleums, and they were all into smoking the embalming fluid on weed. And I wouldn't be surprised that it came out eventually that it's a possibility that they were he was into smoking embalming fluid and it screwed him up.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, sorry, Louie.
Oh, someone walking a dog found a skull is how that whole thing started.
Wow.
Walking the dog, you find the skull, and
investigate a little further.
Then you find 200 bodies. Elliot said that there was nothing accompanying record indicating that Tri-State's response was service call cost $795. The type of incinerator the family bought could cremate an average of 200 bodies a year. That's it? Seems a little low.
Wow, how does that? I think you're just doing one after the other.
That's what I thought. Just put them in and
Get the fire burning.
Pete, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I heard he's making a killing for a profit.
There you go, you wacky, daffy bastard.
Later.
Thank you, Pete.
You wordsmith. Heard he stiffed him.
All right.
That's weird, though, too. They said that some of the coffins had been buried at one time and then dug up. Like, what's that all about?
Maybe you remember one was particularly attractive. You've been stood up one too many times, and you're like, I'm going to teach someone a lesson.
All I can think is you dig up an old one to put in a new one, hoping that the old person ain't going to think about it.
Yeah, he ran out of room. So you dig up the old ones, throw them in the woods, and you got new space. Dave, what's up?
Yo, guys.
Hey.
Talking about kooks, how about the kook in New York?
Well, that's what we're about to talk about.
Yeah, this guy is great.
I challenge all the cities that are hearing our voices right now to come up with a better kook in the news than this one.
How crazy is that?
Well, let's read the story, right, Dave?
All right, you want me to tell you or you want to read it?
No, we're going to read it here. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thanks for reminding us.
We all have our workbooks.
You should sit those bodies up and put little party hats on them, and then smoke a joint and say you want some, and then punch him in the head.
How friggin' sick is that, man?
You do realize where that came from, right?
Actually, no.
That's Voss's awful act.
Is it?
It's actually a funny bit, yeah, where he talks about smoking pot at a funeral home, putting party hats on the bodies and punching them in the head.
Punch him in the head.
Speaking of Voss, speaking of Voss, but all these people in his audience, he won't know the difference.
Oh, poor Voss.
It's not even here.
I'm in England.
Voss in England. Very funny bit, by the way. We got to replay that sometime this week. All right, Anthony. This is the kookiest kook of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe another city will beat us today. I doubt it, though. Madman bites off lover's face. I couldn't decide which version to read because both of them are so good.
Yeah.
The Daily News version or the Post. We decided on the Post version. A crazed Queens man bit and tore at his girlfriend's face in a bloody attack straight out of a horror movie, police said yesterday. After receiving 911 calls...
911 is really an emergency.
After receiving 911 calls reporting terrible screams, cops say they found Felix on top of his 21-year-old girlfriend ripping at the area around her eyes with his teeth.
He's 31. She's 21.
Right.
He's ripping at... The area around her eyes?
Around her eyes.
Everyone knows that's where the most tender meat is. Of course.
Well, speaking of tender meat, here it goes. Police think Felix may have devoured chunks of flesh during the sadistic attack.
Like just ate them.
Ate and swallowed chunks of flesh.
Wow.
The semi-conscious woman told cops that Felix punched and bit her. She was listed in stable condition at Jamaica Hospital after undergoing surgery on her mangled face. They don't know why he did this. The attack occurred between 1 and 2 a.m.
The woman was heard screaming and saying, "I can't believe I'm not in the naughty nighty contest anymore."
And by the way, they do know why he did it.
Yeah.
He was hungry.
That is simple an answer, is there?
You actress.
Let's see. The victim's children's screams continue to echo. Cop used a battering ram to knock down the apartment door and followed the shrieks to the bedroom, but the door there was locked, too. After crashing through the bedroom door, they were shocked by the sickening sight that greeted them. The attacker was on top of the woman, biting and tearing her face with his teeth as cops pulled them off. She was bleeding heavily from her face, nose, and eyes. There were also bite marks on her arms, police said. Felix's face and mouth were allegedly covered in blood as well. Like a dog.
Yeah.
Cops said the bottom portion of one of the woman's earlobes was nearly torn off and chunks of her ears and pieces of flesh around her eyes were missing.
Wow.
And you know what's scary about this guy is that you know that you're really attacking someone when the cops are knocking on the door and you continue biting your victim's face.
You're eating her face.
They brought her out on a stretcher and they had a sheet over her face. I thought she was dead.
They should put this guy into that crematorium and solve everyone's problems.
The crematorium.
Well, there you go.
Beat that.
Yeah.
Beat that today.
I defy you to find something that happened.
One sexier story, today. I dare you.
Andy, what's going on? Andy.
Hello.
What's wrong with the national lines?
Hello.
Andy.
Maybe his name's not Andy. Maybe somebody screwed up.
Andy?
Hey, you want to talk about Cemetery Guy?
All right, he's gone.
He's gone.
Can I mention one thing that really annoyed me in the paper very quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is not the old news segment, but I just had to say that in the presidential polls, whites picked Lincoln and blacks picked Clinton as their favorite president, and I just wanted to say, ingrates.
Yeah, this is amazing. Lincoln was chosen as the top president, the greatest president by white people. And the blacks chose Bill Clinton. You would think that black people would pick Lincoln every time. Every time. He's the guy that threw you the ultimate bone. Get you out of that rut. Get you out of slavery so you can open up a crematorium business. But no, they like the BJ president the best. He's the president they need. The Hummer in the Oval Office president is the one. I like his style. Now that's the president. Abraham who? Total ingrates.
Well, this guy's going to attempt to beat our kookiest kook. Scott, what's up?
No.
All right. Was this in today's paper?
This was in about 2 days ago up in Maine.
Weekend is okay.
Yeah, it's okay. We haven't been on the air in a few days. Go ahead.
It's like up in Maine. It's in South Portland, Maine. They just found out. Actually, it's kind of funny and ironic that a cop caught on to this.
But they found out after two cops stopped at a Dunkin' Donuts that they had a strange filling in their donut.
Oh, God.
It ended up not being donuts.
Oh, my
on the
God.
Camera. So they're both basically being charged with, I don't know what you would call that.
Did that make the air, you think?
Jacking it. They were jacking it on the donuts.
I mean, like, that's just sick. That's vile.
I know, and it's aggravating. If you're going to do it for the cops, do it for all of us, fella.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's that. They're both going down. I don't know what the exact charge is.
We took our candid cameras and filmed two men jacking it on the donuts. Watch as the police officers come in and watch as Maury Amsterdam pulls his bud on the donuts. Laugh along as these officers take a bite of male jizz on their jelly donut. Don't be surprised if sometime, somewhere, someone steps up to you and says, "Don't eat that, someone spewed in it."
All right, Scott.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right.
You gotta kill the guy that does that. You have to kill him. How do you eat the donut that someone jizzed on and not then kill the guy that did it?
Yeah. Man, that would explain a lot, too. That would explain why you rolled the window down and just spit the donut out.
Come on, finish the job. Swallow it. That's horrible.
Were the two guys doing it, I wonder, on the donuts together, like helping each other out?
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
But that makes it sick,
You know,
right?
they're together. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Jay. Jay, you for real or what?
Yeah, man.
All right, go ahead.
Well, first of all, I want to see if I can win the contest. I got Michelle Kwan for Gook of the Day.
No, we're doing Kook of the Day.
Sorry. I can't see on the air how I could get these, but I can get you. I could probably get you pictures of that girl who got her face bitten off.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
We'd love to see that.
I could probably deliver it to you guys. I don't know if you want it delivered or email it or whatever.
Come on down.
All right, sounds good, guys. I'll as soon as I get it, I should probably get it within like a day or two copies of it.
All right, cool.
All right, man.
Thank you, Jay.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Did you get it with a WOW sticker?